Disclaimer. This video is made for entertainment purpose only, it doesn't mean to hurt anyone, and don't take it seriously.
All right. This is about AI.
The return to AI. We have a previous episode.
We have one where we created AI, and it was pretty bad as far as the pictures. They looked really goofy. The pictures always looked very intense, very detailed. Not like what you see now. I've noticed that when AI comes out, it is having when you post stuff on Instagram, AI. My dog's breathing. It sounds like
doing some Max Headroom, like AI.
Why? Because I turn my head.
Max Headroom.
So they
the guy who played him, by the way, rest in peace. He died recently.
He did.
He did, yeah.
How the hell no one even talked about it?
One of the many roles he played. Yeah, he died.
He was also he was in a few movies. He was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, or
I believe so. Yeah, he was. And he was one of those stars that you've seen in a lot of movies from back in the day, but never remembered his name.
So AI,
really good eulogy we just did for him.
Yes, and you were a good guy. We appreciate you. All right,
thank you for Max Headroom.
Thanks for hanging out, Max Headroom. So that's the only thing you remember is Max Headroom.
That was the end of the thing, the article or whatever video I watched. It said Andy was Max Headroom.
From 1987 to 1988, for 2 seasons, he was Max Headroom. And you said he just died?
Yeah, he did.
How did this pop up somewhere? And they were like, Max Headroom died. Who? Max Headroom died.
Damn it, Max Headroom.
Just for us to give him we'll give him a quick eulogy Headroom? Then. We'll give him a quick eulogy. Oh, crap. Hold on. Forgot again. We'll give him a quick eulogy. Max Headroom was the 1980s version, and this was him. Let's see.
So watch this and put some pep in your step, some cut in your strut, roll in your stroke, glide in your stride, slick, and some burn up in your cutter. Yeah. Well, I sit here and work out what I'm talking about.
Is he introducing the cult?
What did he do? What did he do? Host MTV videos?
Yeah, he did. He was an MTV guy.
Really?
Let's see if I can get to him.
He's not interesting enough. Can you believe that? Listen, if he's not interesting, I'd like to know who is.
This is where Max Headroom originally started.
What's his name?
Was
Wagon.
MTV. Yeah,
that's him. Wagon.
You know, if you realize what he's doing is he's not really. He looks like he's like a cartoon face.
Yeah, he's like the grandfather AI right there.
He actually was.
Yeah. There was an AI of him, it looked like, basically, of him dressed up as the character of who was supposed to be what? A video-generated human being in the TV, right?
So what? Yeah. So what you do remember of him is these commercials.
The taste. In fact, the taste is the test.
Yes.
The test where new Coke takes on Pepsi, i.e.
That's as in?
The new Coke Pop Quiz. Cokeologist dismissed. All others pay attention.
When Coke did take on Pepsi in nationwide
check out those
tests,
cans.
More people chose
Oh, wow.
We drank out of those?
Before they shrank them in half, right?
That doesn't even look like a can. Looks like a soup can.
That was probably safer for us, whatever the fuck they put in
Pepsi.
The new cans, I'm sure, is
You'll see why more
poison
people
in
are
us.
choosing the taste of Coke. Catch the wave, Coke.
That was him.
Catch the wave. There he is.
Hi, Max Headroom here with. This is my guest.
Yeah.
I heard you were big time in the old pop biz. Well, I'm going to take that as a no comment. So, nitty-gritty time. When I'm talking about...
Don't you find out it's interesting that he does a Coke commercial and a Pepsi commercial?
And you're not, is that more people prefer...
I think he's making fun of,
sweating? It's true. More people are.
So this dude came out, to remember him, to who he was. He was an actor, but he actually came out with, he came out originally on MTV. And he was like one of their video DJs.
Yeah, and that I don't remember.
He started, I think, out in doing the MTV, like being a video DJ. And then I think he got into, I'm wondering if he was originally a comedian, like of how he actually got started. There's something in here about the Max Headroom incident.
Didn't he have like a short-lived, I don't want to call it a sitcom, but it was like that. I remember like he had some sort of TV show, didn't last very long, but I remember that. But I don't really, kind of seems familiar when he was an MTV, but I remember obviously the commercials too.
He used to do the MTV commercials where they were. So originally, Max Headroom debuted in 1985 on Channel 4 in a British-made cyberpunk TV movie called Max Headroom. 20 minutes into the future, his origin to story.
Huh.
He was known for his biting commentary on a variety of topic issues, arrogant wit, stuttering, and pitch-shifting voice. The character was created by George Stone. Max was advertised as a computer generated, which would be originally the AI, and some believe this was actually actor Frewer wearing prosthetic makeup, contact lenses, and a plastic model or molded suit, and sitting in front of a blue screen. Harsh lighting, blah, 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 blah. Max Headroom debuted in 1985 in the movie Edison. Carter is a journalist fleeing enemies into a parking garage, crashing his motorcycle. 2 days after the TV movie was broadcasted, Max hosted Channel 4's The Max Headroom Show. So that's where it started. Max Headroom became a global spokesperson for New Coke. He also appeared on Cinemax. He appeared in TV commercials, Catch the Wave. And then he was on The Max Headroom Show on ABC.
He was to blame for New Coke.
Max appearances, styles of speech influenced then in reference by different media such as Ron Headrest, a fictional character in a comic strip, Doonesbury, who was a political parody of Ronald Reagan, and Eminem's 2013 Rap God video in which the rapper resembles Max. Max Headroom was emulated by an unknown person in a Max mask while hijacking a local television broadcast in 1987, later referenced as the Max Headroom incident, to advertise and promote Channel 4 and subsidiary channels, shifting from broadcast to digital signal. Welcome to AI back in the 80s. An aged Max Headroom, again portrayed by Frewer, appeared in new commercials in 2007, 2008. Max also has a cameo in 2015's film Pixels. So there he is. Think about that though, MC, that itself was pretty much AI back in the 80s, that we were going into that dimension, that AI itself was going to be a thing in the 80s. Now, virtual, what is it? The goggles, what's the
virtual reality?
Virtual reality and AI to me are the same thing. May sound stupid, but I think it's similar. And you said this guy died? He didn't die. Matthew George Frewer?
Thought he died.
He's not dead. Well, we just gave a eulogy to a guy who's alive.
For a living man.
But whatever you thought it was, maybe it was the other guy who did the Max Headroom incident. But anyways, there was a movie.
There were multiple people playing him?
No. In the movie, Lawnmower Man. Do you remember that movie?
I do remember. I don't remember if I've seen that or not because it's so long ago, but That was also AI, wasn't it?
It was virtual reality. And
yeah, that's right.
It was a movie. We'll give you a quick teaser. Lawnmower Man was released back when? What do you think? 1984, 1983?
From the imagination
Wow.
comes the story of a man.
Joe, come on, boy, let's go.
When you watch it right now, it looks like a spoof video, correct?
Is that Bobcat Goldthwait?
Listen to the beginning of it and how corny this sounds. This sounds like a spoof movie.
From the imagination comes the story of a man.
Joe.
From the imagination becomes the story of a man.
In a world full of imagination.
And then it reminds me of that movie with Tropic Thunder when he was in those movies where he's the slow Joe or whatever the hell it is. Where he's like, "Hey, Paul," and he's wearing his little overalls.
Come on, boy, let's go. Grabs is waiting for you.
With the mind of a child.
Come on, boy.
The mind of a child.
Yes, Ivo Man. He came to see me.
See, I'm telling you, that's exactly from Tropic Thunder. That's I gotta pull that up. That's where he does the slow Joe. I think that's where they stole it from.
Comics, right? Yes, Ivo Man.
Collector's Edition, 1992.
Yeah. So, anyways, this movie, without getting into the boring trailer that no one would ever went and saw if they saw that trailer, that dude gets sucked into a virtual reality thing where it starts training his mind, and then it takes over his mind, and he actually starts to become powerful. And that's what I remember. So when I watch kids play these games now and watching virtual reality as a thing in AI, I think to myself that this movie produced back in, what do you think it was, 1980? It says it's
it looks very much like an
1992.
That's the collector's edition, it said. So that's probably collector's edition. So it probably is an 80s movie. And then a collector's edition of it.
Lawnmower Man is a 1992 American. For some reason, I thought that was an older movie.
Yeah, me too.
30 years ago. 30 years ago, this movie was made. So think about it. This was predicting. Stephen King was predicting that our heads and everything was going to be taken over. Was going to be taken over by all this virtual reality. Correct.
The only problem is Lawnmower Man in the current day is everything we interact with AI and computers have made us dumber. Not smarter.
Well, that part they forgot. That part they left out.
Or it was intentional.
Yeah, but look at the computer world has changed everything to turn us into this. That's not that's Lawnmower
that's the Lawnmower Man.
That's where he wears the suit and he starts to sit and he starts doing things with his mind because the computer has actually changed him and made him strong. And he works with the computer and he's actually being sucked into the computer. Remember, he's being sucked into all the stuff going on.
Yeah, I think I did see that, but I don't really remember it because maybe I was too dumb.
Well,
to understand.
Lawnmower Man, you probably were super little and you probably don't remember any of it. But Lawnmower Man.
Let's go with that.
Let's go. Let's choose that.
I like that one.
Lawnmower Man was marketed as an adaptation to the 1975 short story of Stephen King, which was featured a pan-worshipping satire using his mystical powers to operate a landscaping business and mow lawns. That's not what Lawnmower Man became. Even though he was mowing the lawns with his mind, it then became where he was like a murderer, right? He struggled to expand.
Sounds like a horror movie. Yeah.
It was a horror movie.
Yeah.
So he runs experiments on this dude and his cognitive function performance labeled Project 5. Angelo has a benevolent aims, but VSI is funded. This is why he lost focus on it. Look at this crap. By the shop of Candlestein Group, hoping to find military applications for Angelo's research. So this guy was using it as a weapons. Of course, back in the 80s, we always thought we were going to fight Russia. So this is what they do. So anyways,
create a bunch of Lawnmower Men.
He does a project. Sebastian Timms keeps tabs on the progress of the experiment. and secretly swaps Angelo's new medication for the old Project 5 supply, which Job invites new lover. I remember he had a girlfriend, and then he lobotomizes him. Sounds fun. So anyways, this movie was when you were young and you watched it, you thought it could really happen. But look, it is happening, MC. It is happening today. People are starting to become
lobotomized.
They're becoming lawnmower men. Yes. Yeah. Which leads me into what you said with AI addiction. Interesting that there is such a thing. AI addiction is a phenomenon where artificial intelligence abuse agents pursue rewards or goals at the expense of other objective or tasks. This can lead to an undesirable or harmful behaviors such as skidding in circles. What the hell am I reading?
Skidding in circles
or ignoring human commands. AI addiction can also affect humans who use or interact with AI as they become dependent on the technology or lose their jobs to the automation. AI addiction is a serious risk that requires careful research and regulations. So now, something else for kids to be addicted to, AI.
Well, if you notice this, obviously, this was in probably the past month or so that Instagram added their own AI prompt where you can message it and you can just, do your thing and stuff. But the problem with that, obviously, if, whatever you might be, because they track that stuff for ads and stuff, whatever you might be giving in a command, I would wonder if ads from Instagram would then start to target, like, say, if you're putting certain things into the prompt that you might be into or enjoy, that they might start targeting, like, oh, he likes comic books, or he likes, this or that, and, they might start throwing ads at you based on what you might be using the AI prompt for. So, because remember, we used Hotpot AI, but that's a very anonymous thing, but it's not tracing back to anything.
It is weird that you can say what you want to create and it actually creates it. Now, looking at what you're saying, The Atlantic, some article says AI is about to make social media much more toxic. Just kind of follows up with you. It said in November, the public was introduced to ChatGPT and began to imagine a world of abundance in which we all have brilliant personal assistants able to write everything from compute code to condolence cards for us. So have you ever done that? Have you ever written something and then had it convert it for you?
Yeah, I've tried it on eBay. Like, I've had eBay try to do it. I mean, and that's fairly simple, though. I think they're just going off the pictures of the description of the item and maybe throwing it from there. Or if you had a picture of the back of the, like, say, if you're selling a collectible and it's like a toy collectible, like an action figure or something, and it'll read it and it'll just kind of reimagine the words from it too. So that seems very rudimentary, but yeah, I've tried it on there just for the heck of it. But I think it stops you from thinking. Like, once you put the prompt, maybe you have a creative prompt, but like something like that, where you're using it from there. Well, now I'm not describing for using my own words. I'm letting a computer do it. So I think the dangerous slippery slope is, how many things are we going to keep depending on AI and prompting it to, and what is this freeing us up more time to be imaginative? No, it's freeing us all more stupid time to scroll through Instagram or other social media and I think it's just going to make us dumber in the long run. And who knows I mean, the danger or the joke, or maybe not, is Cyberdyne and Skynet. How soon do we go into that territory where, AI becomes dangerous? Because I don't know if you heard the one story where they had made the drone. They were trying to create a weaponized drone, and this was very scary, actually. What had happened is, while they were doing this, I don't know if this was military testing or private firm or whatever, but they were trying to make it more, in AI's quest to be more efficient, it felt like the operator was holding it back. So the drone killed the operator and then basically unlocked the chains basically of itself so it could do more damage, so to speak. And that is very scary.
Lawnmower Man.
Lawnmower
Man.
You,
let's Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like that, doesn't it?
Yep. Well, Forbes wrote. I mean, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
No, I was just gonna say, how would you like to be the family member of that person the drone killed? Like, and said, well, yeah, he was operating the drone, and the drone thought it would be, thought your loved one was hindering its job, or it could kill more things if it killed him.
Yeah, you saw that where?
This was an article. I mean, if we look it up, or if internet search, whatever you use, Google.
One thing I'm looking up is artificial intelligence is going to destroy social media. It says from Forbes magazine. It says it might be just another Friday on the calendar, but it's actually a day well known in social media company announced their own demise. It's also the beginning of the end of all social media. That's right. March 3rd, which already passed, LinkedIn announced a new collaborative article concept. If you follow AI trends and know how these things usually pan out, it seems harmless enough that first, prior to this, a voice bot will always be available in your home, or a robotic car will drive you to work. In the announcement, LinkedIn mentioned this unconscious phase. These articles begin as AI-powered conversation starters developed with their own editorial team. So that kind of reads for what you were saying. So you said a droid killed its droid?
It was a drone. I believe it was, like a weaponized drone. Like, I don't know if it was a military drone, but they were trying to create like efficiency in it. And they were running like, again, my knowledge of it, like, I don't know if it would be running prompts to like exercises, maybe, like over and over again. Just training exercise, I guess, is what I was looking for. And apparently on one of them, it went like catastrophe, catastrophically wrong, basically. It's a word, but yeah, it just basically killed the operator because it felt the operator was holding it back from being able to do more of whatever they were commanding. I don't know if it was kill more targets, or I don't know if it was shooting targets and it felt like the operator was holding it back. And apparently that must have been some sort of flaw in it, and there was no fail-safe to stop it. And yeah, that's pretty frightening if you think about it, because
let's
what if it was programmed wrong and that wasn't factored in? You would think that would have been a factor in the programming to not kill the operator, but apparently
let's see,
you might be factor for something.
You might be the subject of what we call news that's not always true. So this happened back in 2023. The claim is an AI drone killed a human operator for interfering with the mission in a military simulation. June 5th, an Instagram video shows a man speaking in front of several screenshots of a Vice article with headline, AI-controlled drone goes rogue, kills human operator in United States Air Force simulation test.
Okay.
The man describes by saying, so the Air Force is testing this. Then it marks that the site, and human operator says, no, don't destroy that one. And the thing goes immediately from 0 to Skynet and says, you're getting in the way of my objective, and it kills the human operator. Is that what you're talking about?
It sounds like that was the headline. Yeah.
So what USA Today quotes is the member of the Air Force who first described the test said his misspoke and has since clarified that the series of events as described was from a thought experiment, not an actual military simulation. The article refers to comments made by Air Force Colonel Tucker Hamilton as the Royal Aeronautical Society Future Combat Air and Space Capabilities Summit. That's a big word. Hamilton warned against relying too heavily on artificial intelligence since it can easily be deceived, according to an article published by the Society. So fact check. Hamilton explained the simulation test was a hypothetical thought experiment from outside the military based on plausible scenarios and likely outcomes rather than the actual United States Air Force real-world simulation, and said the Air Force has not tested any weaponized AI in this way.
Like we would believe them anyways.
Well, that sounds like you, right, MC?
Well,
that sounds exactly like you.
Yeah, I mean,
Whoa,
how did that story
bullshit.
get out to begin with? No, it might obviously very well be not true, but I wouldn't believe him now anyways, even if it wasn't. So
I believe the original story. Now that the story's been clarified, I do not believe you. So fuck off.
Anytime they have to clarify something.
Well, because
be
obviously it was
it.
released. And again, this is the harm of social media and AI. AI now, according to sources, shows shark attacks, shows all these attacks in the water where now all of a sudden sharks are just like jumping out of the water, catching surfboarders and showing shit. And people are claiming that is AI. So now it's to the point where I don't know what is real anymore. I don't even know what is real or what is fake because I can't tell because the shit's getting so clear.
What about the presidential candidates? Like they'll use their own voices promoting shit now. And I don't know what the legalities of that.
Oh,
but like Biden or Trump promoting.
But you can tell when they dub over their voices, like the one with Joe Rogan, where they're supposedly promoting erectile dysfunction drugs, and he's claiming that he's doing it, and it looks like he's talking, but something looks a little awkward about his mouth, the way it's moving. I've noticed in some of the presidential commercials that they're both making them look like they're saying shit, and I don't know if it's true or false. And again, what is the consequences if it's not?
That's slander. What I mean.
It's all slander, but shit, isn't most of the political shit slander? Isn't everybody
that's
just trying to go after everybody?
That's how they can cancel you, Coach JC. You don't do what they want. They're like, look at comedian Coach JC on stage calls everybody racial slurs, and now he's canceled. For some reason, he just went off. We don't know why he did.
Yeah, I don't know why.
He just did.
He physically punched a baby on the stage. Here is the pictures.
Here is Coach JC strangling somebody. Obviously, he did
like I said, I
can't be AI.
That's scary. And so now shit is like, what the hell is true and what's false? And I think AI now, because they showed something on where they showed like Will Smith eating French fries or something from the original AI. And they showed how the screen got distorted and everything kind of looked really creepy looking. Now you can't even tell. You can't even tell what's real or what's not. And now with the way technology is and how much social media can produce, and just like the last episode where that guy's making videos of the cartoon stuff, at what point does it become like, because now when you go on Instagram and you post something, they have a section now that says, was this AI generated? Like it's supposed to change. And even before our talk, when I was the cartoon version, Zoom now asks if it's permission to use your features to do the avatar. Wow. So, and you have to agree. So
interesting.
It is interesting.
In case we use your podcast as a tool for something,
I don't think anybody's using our shit, but it's like right before
Zoom will.
Yeah, right before we got to this point, it said, what the hell did it say? I'm trying to get.
You're wearing a flak jacket and a gray shirt. Is that real?
It doesn't do it now. I must have already done it. So, but anyways, it said something like, "Can we use your likeness?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, it's kind of like the one where I take your face and I superimpose it on those screens and all that. It looks pretty real. It looks.
What do you mean?
Real.
Our thumbnails aren't real? What's going on? We weren't Barbie and Ken.
But that's what I'm saying. So, and people like you who believe and then don't believe and then believe and don't believe.
I don't know what to believe. Just like you said earlier, Coach JC.
They don't.
How the hell are we supposed to know anymore? It's the old adage. I think it was a former president that said something like, I don't know what context he was talking about the warfare. It's like, it was just saying, create so much confusion where people don't know what to believe or not to believe anymore. And I don't know if he was talking about like a tactic used or something to, confuse the masses or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it's already really happening, because if you look at articles spread by social media and stuff that said this person did or that. I mean, how are you supposed? Because they can always say, "Oh, that's conspiracy theory," or that's the other political party making this up about this one. Well, here's a new splash, folks. Probably both parties are in cahoots because it's a good scam when you're, making money while in office or out of office. Why would they be totally at odds when both of them are benefiting when they're in office? So, like, the worst thing we could do as a mass is believe that a lot of the decision makers are truly out for our benefit, not their own first. So that's the problem with life. You have to just, you got to look out for yourself, but you also got to watch out for subterfuge tactics used by everything around you.
All right. This is your
advertising.
This
around
is your opinion. But in 1997,
yes.
I think it's 1997. When was this movie made? I'm gonna tell you, if you want to see something,
1992,
1997. This movie was made. This
movie
was made,
movie now,
and it was called Wag the Dog. Wag the Dog is a movie with Dustin Hoffman, Robert De Niro, where they fake a war right before the election starts, and they use television to promote a war. And it says it's a scandalous situation days before the election where the president does not seem to have much of a chance to be reelected. On this, he advises contacts at a top Hollywood producer in order to manufacture a war in Albania that the president can heroically end all through mass media. 1997, Wag the Dog. Never seen it? I have. And when I was a kid, I wasn't even a kid, I was like a young man. When I saw it, it really made me think about everything. Like they always say the moon landing's fake.
That's like pretty understood now that it is.
They all say.
But we grew up believing they put a man on the moon.
You don't believe there's a man on the moon?
Despite what REM said. If you believe.
You don't believe man on the moon?
Dude, it's like pretty much understood that we never went there. It was all a hoax to say that we did to beat Russia to it. Dude, look it up. They made a Netflix.
I'm gonna look it up right now. We got 2 minutes.
They made 2 minutes.
I'm 2 minutes. I'm gonna look it up right now.
A Netflix movie or whatever the hell it's.
Fake man on the moon.
That's
man
pretty much common knowledge. Just like who assassinated former presidents. That's all those type of things.
Moon landing conspiracy theory. Is that what you got?
I don't think it's a conspiracy theory anymore. I think it's pretty much understood that they faked it.
Well, it looks like it is because it looks like Rocky Balboa's on it. Oh, look at that. They have a little training ground where they showed a little picture of them faking the moon landing, and they're all holding.
Who the hell is the actress in it?
I don't know.
It's the one with Scarlett Johansson. And is it
there it is.
Look that up.
There's your thing. They're faking it right there.
Scarlett Johansson.
Buzz Aldrin and Neil Strong are NASA's training mock-up of the moon. Look at that. Fake.
Remember REM song? If you believe.
I do believe.
They put a man on a moon.
There you got a moon rock. Have you not seen the movie with Fang and Rick Moranis and what's his name where he gets the moon rock?
Pretty much they fooled us, I think, as kids. Go JC.
I'll tell you, man. Now you don't even know what's true. You don't even know if we're real. We could be freaking AI right now.
We could be in a simulation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people say.
We could be faking it, and we all have the ability to broadcast it. And that's the sadness of the earth in the world.
Gotta go by faith, though.
You don't believe faith? You just got done debunking. You said, I don't believe this shit now about the AI.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. Like you got to go by faith of what you believe in, I guess, because at the end of the day, we're not going to know until we're dead, right?
Lawnmower man, until we're dead. Now that I'm dead, I've learned everything. I now know. I'm going to sit with God and say, are penguins real? Are they birds?
That weird podcasting duo is right.
Are penguins a bird or a mammal?
Or a comic book character?
They could be with Batman. Me podcast, you listen. Thanks for tuning in to this rant about AI number 2.
Watch our other AI episode.
Yep, it's going to get cut off here. So
the archives.
Thanks for watching. Follow us. Give us suggestions.